welcome back to another video. So today we are going to be talking about why it is so important to surrender and exactly how to do it. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. So why is it so important to surrender? When you surrender, you are allowing the higher purpose, you're allowing the universe, you are allowing God, whoever, to come through you and literally work through you and lead you to your higher purpose. The only end result when God works through you is for the betterment, is for you or the betterment of the world. So that's how you know that when you fully surrender, you are allowing them to work through you, take you to your higher purpose, okay? Now, when you try to control an outcome, it usually doesn't go as planned. Like if you just sit and think of many examples where someone has tried to control something, and however exactly they're trying to move the pieces and control it, it does not go as planned. If it is not meant for it to happen the way that they are making it happen, it doesn't go as planned. Like for example, if you're sitting in traffic or something and like you see a car, zooming in and out of lanes, the right lane is going faster, so they switch over to the right lane, and then that lane ends up going slow, so they switch back over to the next lane. It's like they're trying to control a situation. It's like it's traffic, like you're not going nowhere. And usually like that, it just doesn't go as planned for them. Like the way they're trying to switch in and out of lanes to get to their destination faster, it does not go as planned because it's traffic. Another example is a toxic relationship. Like if someone's trying to control you, they really can't control you, because again, we don't necessarily live for ourselves. We were put on this earth to do something more than what we can even imagine. Not all of us realizes that or believes that, so that's why like not everyone lives out that purpose. You just try and try again until maybe you finally do or something. But we were definitely put on this world do something that we cannot even imagine. So that is why it is very important to surrender and just allow your higher purpose, allow the universe to just work through you. Surrendering is it's not only like a choice you have to make every day, it's something you have to make every second. That's also why it's so important to, it also just correlates when it comes to living in the present moment, right? Because we're living in the present moment, and we're just surrendering. We're surrendering to the moment. We're surrendering to the universe. We're surrendering to God, and we're allowing them to work through us. And we're not trying to control everything. The universe knows what's best for you when you live throughout your purpose, when you are on the right path. It's like the universe has something in store for you that you cannot even imagine. That is why it is so important to surrender. When we usually think of things we want or think of things we want to be, what we think about is usually like the ceiling. But as far as what God has in store for you, it's more up to the sky. So our mind usually like thinks up to a ceiling level, when what we really are capable of is like at a sky level. Those were some little tips as far as why it is important to surrender. Now, sometimes wouldn't it be just wonderful if we can just say, I surrender, and then just live your everyday life and just knowing that the universe has your back because you said it that one day at that one time. But the thing is, when we came into this world, we are given free will. We're given the right to do anything we want to do, pretty much, So it's like you have to make that choice. You have to make that choice to surrender. You cannot just say it. You have to put that action behind it. That just boils down to everything. It's ultimately, we have free will, so it is ultimately up to you to put that action behind said thing. For example, we're talking about surrendering today, so it is important to put that action behind it so you can truly surrender and live out why you are on this earth. Let's say you are on a diet and you are cutting out Krispy Kreme donuts. You do not want to eat no donuts because you're on a diet. But you walk into work, in the break room, somebody just bought some Krispy Kreme donuts, and it is so tempting. You can see the donut, it's free. That glazed donut is just staring at you. You have free will. You can either say, F it, this is my cheat day, and eat that donut, or you can stay strong with your goal, what you're trying to accomplish, and not eat the donut. Depending on where you are, who you are, what your mindset is at that moment on staying committed, 9 times out of 10, sometimes we are going to eat that donut. One donut won't hurt, you know? So that's pretty much how it is. When you surrender, it's a choice. It's a choice you have to make every single second and every single day. Like, why would you pray about something if you're still just going to be worrying about it? Like, what was the point of that, you know? So that's definitely not surrendering if you do anything like that. And then, of course, like, we're human. We are on this earth to live a human experience. Although we are spiritual beings, we are living a human experience. So, of course, it's normal to worry about something. But if you pray about it, and then you still worry about it, it's just like, what was the point of even praying about it? Like, if you're worrying, you have it under control, right? Like, that's essentially what the universe is going to say. Like, you're still thinking about it, you're worrying about it, you're thinking of steps to get there. Like, oh, okay, the universe is going to say, you got it under control. But if you pray about it, then you just say, thank you, I'm so grateful for this coming into my life. If it is aligning with my purpose, I'm so grateful for it coming into my life. And then you just let it go. And then you just go on about your everyday. When it pops up, it pops up. You're just remaining neutral. So yes, you have to choose a side and you have to stay there, okay? You have to pick if you're going to surrender or if you're not. If you're going to pray about it, you're not going to worry about it. But to put it into words where like another human can understand, besides just living in the present moment. Now when you surrender, it's more so you being neutral to the outcome. So, you wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, get ready for work, and you're driving. You ran into traffic. You was not expecting it to be no traffic today because it wasn't traffic any other day. And you're just driving, but you run into traffic. Instead of like, oh man, it's traffic, blah, blah, and you're complaining. Just surrender in that moment. Just remain neutral. Like, take a breath. Like, okay, it's traffic. That's fine. I'll get to work when I get to work. If you need to text your manager, you text your manager, let them know you're in traffic, whatever. But you just surrender to the moment. You remain neutral to that moment. You just, okay, whatever. Let me put on a podcast. Let me play my favorite song. Let me get my playlist ready. And you're just literally remaining neutral to that moment. Okay. Another way is just, if something's happening within your life and it's, it's something a little bit more extreme than traffic, just, taking a deep breath in, out, and just literally speaking it. I allow my mind, body, and soul to fully surrender to the present moment. And then just kind of take a second and like feel that stillness, kind of like a 2-3 second meditation. Just feel that stillness, no thoughts, just that stillness. I never want to speak on what I don't know, so I'm always going to have a personal story for you. So my personal story, actually just the most recent story of mine. I was working this job, and once this pandemic happened, I was laid off at my job that I had at the beginning of the year. And first of all, I love my life so much because everything happens for a reason. Like, getting laid off was a bummer, but when I actually look back on it, that was the best thing that happened. like in my life. That was the best thing. So anyways, the pandemic happened in 2020. It started getting serious around March. I ended up getting a job around like July. And it was more so like an entry-level job. It was more so like a foot in a door job, but it was a company that I really wanted to work with. I used to apply to like these other positions within the company, but I never got them. So when this position, it literally like came in my email box. It was like, I was just like, this is perfect. I can get my foot in the door. I was so grateful. I mean, I still am very grateful that I even got that position. About 2 months in, I was so miserable. I was so miserable with what I was doing, okay? I would just say it was just very call center. It was just constant, back to back to back. It was just so annoying. I was there for, I think a total, it wasn't even 6 months. It was a total of like maybe like 5 months, like 4 or 5 months. But anyways, when I was there for like month 3, and these timelines seem so short, but when you are literally miserable Monday through Friday, it seems like forever. So at about month 3 in, I was searching for more jobs, okay? And then it was already hard because like I work Monday through Friday. I can't really take off like that. Like my PTO did not kick in until I was there for like a year. So when I did take off, I would either just take off and then get paid for it, or I would just be using like a floating holiday, which I only had 2 of those, okay? And when it was just when it was like month 4 reaching into month 5, I was like, something has got to give. Like, I was not getting no call backs. I did not have a job lined up or nothing, okay? I did not have nothing lined up. But I was so miserable, and I'm so sorry I keep saying that, but like literally. And then when I look back on it was just divine timing, because I don't regret my decision at all. And it was just one of those things where, I mean, I've thought about it long and hard, and I have my own apartment. Like, I could not just quit and take a leap of faith when I have bills I gotta pay, and I have kids, so it's not just me. So anyways, it just got hard to job search and work at the same time. So I put my 2 weeks notice in. And I had nothing lined up. This was me fully surrendering, because I was just like, okay, like, I'm miserable. I cannot do another day here. Because if I keep doing the days here, I'm just gonna constantly have meetings with my manager, because she's gonna, just be like, why do you keep ignoring calls? And I'm gonna end up getting rolled up. So, and to avoid all that, I got to go. So I put my 2 weeks notice in, and I did my due diligence. I didn't even job search that heavy, because I was like, at this point, all the work I did in the past, like, hopefully that finally catches up, and whatever happens, happens. So put my 2 weeks notice in, did not have nothing lined up. Like, I'm telling you, did not have nothing lined up. A position I applied for, they reached back out to me within that first week. So it's just funny how everything worked. But that was me literally surrendering. And when you do surrender, now again, please do not, I'm not sharing, this is not me giving advice. The only advice I'm giving in this video is to surrender. But this is not me telling you, if you're miserable, to quit your job. No, this is not it. I'm just sharing my personal story, okay? I just wanted to give that disclaimer. But yeah, I mean, it was scary.